I am Kelly Monique, psychic medium. I am someone who loves to teach and hold space, facilitate workshops and classrooms, online and in person, to strengthen your intuition. And I feel like that's an important part that needs fostering for all of us, because we're all psychic. You have psychic abilities. We're utilizing them without even realizing a lot of the time. And sometimes things are far more simpler than what we think. We can overcomplicate psychic abilities and spirituality, whereas it can often be messages through nature, micro miracles, signs, synchronicities, coincidences. So one thing I do is my Golden Gates Playdates, which is an online classroom, and it's an amazing space to learn and grow within your own soul power and intuition. And I also do workshops in person, online. I have the 11 Golden Gates course, which is a course that's self-paced. Yeah, I just have such a passion around teaching, and cards are flying already. I was going to pull a couple of cards. We're at the end of May 2024. And I felt like it was time to just have a look moving forward and reflect and see what's coming up. Surrender to non-action comes up. The way this is speaking to me at the moment is of recent past. There has been times where it's not the time to make the decision. It's not the time to take that step forward. Things have been a little bit still or stagnant, or what you might see as a time to make a decision then spins around, flips on its head, and you have a completely different perspective. I wonder if you've noticed that over May and partly April. That's something that I've noticed. So there has been a calling to just simply breathe, and that still is very relevant here and now, is just get back to basic practice of regrouping, centering, breathing, drop into your soul self, connect with nature, your animals, your loved ones, just in the most natural and organic human way. I think it's really important as spiritual beings, whether you're practicing, I feel it's super important that we also practice consciously just being human and just have that balance, and that's coming up here too, balance. Balancing home and career, balancing your spirituality with just the everyday stuff, because we're here for a human experience. It's really important that we are playing human at times. So that's coming into my mind. Surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. I had a cool meditation that, because with reading, whatever comes into my frame of reference, and you, whatever's popping up into your thoughts, or you're going back to a memory or a moment, that can be really relevant in delivering messages. And so when I see this card, it speaks to me about, well, the part about stop pushing so hard, and the art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. I had a meditation a few weeks ago where I wanted to really connect with animal energy, particularly the bear. That's how I started my meditation. And I imagined laying down next to a bear, touching its fur, seeing its claws, and it was a little intimidating at first. I was right under its mouth, but I really enjoyed being in the bear's space. And then I blended with the bear. How would it feel to be within the bear, be the bear? And I was leaping and bounding down this hill, and then I went to the riverside and I grabbed a salmon in my bear form and I ate the salmon. And then I shifted very quickly into the salmon. And that's part I want to share with you. What I noticed when I was in that essence of the salmon, because this meditation was to see what can each animal that I'm shifting into teach me? What wisdom and codes do they bring? And when I was in this form of salmon, it's the way they can navigate the river with the rocks and the other the other life in the river, and move with such effortless ease, and literally allowing the river to take them where they need to go to some degree, being at one with the earth as animals are. And I really understood the flow and going with the flow that the message of the salmon can bring to us. And I just wanted to share that with you, because maybe there's areas of your life where you haven't been going with the flow and you've been trying to make things happen. I know I do this too. And sometimes it's about just consciously saying, I'm going to let go of any limiting belief systems or any defensiveness. And I'm just going to dive straight in and trust in life force, which is the river, trust in the universal, trust in the earth as we are one to carry me through. So knowing when to surrender and just let go and go with the flow. And surrender to your soul path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson in every moment. So when we're in that flow like the river, it does unfold in the way that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right opportunities. Just by embracing the lessons in every moment, because some of these lessons will be very simple and logical, perhaps. You know, big spiritual growth isn't always big, profound moments. It's micro miracles and simplicity that can give us that expansiveness in our field and in our development. So, surrendering to your own soul's journey, knowing that you come with all your own codes and frequencies of what you're meant to do in this life. You know, you're sort of ticking off boxes without even aware of what you are here to do. But by deep diving into trust, which is the river, into your soul self, your intuition, your uniquely designed codes to support you in your life moving forward, to gain what you need to from this life moving forward. Surrender addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So this will be different for all people, but yeah, we all can get into those addictive patterns, can't we? And I notice that sometimes there can be a real sabotage when we're in the healthier side of these patterns. Did that make sense? I'll carry on. So for me, it could be, I know I need to exercise. I want to exercise. I feel good when I exercise, but then there's something preventing me from keeping up with it, and I find that I fall back. What's going on in me in those moments are usually some limiting belief systems. It could be a dialogue of, you're not going to stick at it. You're not going to get the results you want. You're not good enough, essentially. So we need to be aware of those things that sabotage us, which put us back into a negative cycle. Because if I pull back from the exercising, the way I might sabotage myself is eating food that I don't need, I don't want. I think meditation and breath work is really good for me and for you. It's important to find a type of meditative sort of mindfulness that works for you, uniquely you. And surrender to the joy, really finding the joy in those moments, those little magic moments that can be very simple and human again. You know, sometimes it's about just breaking a pattern, a state, a way of being by petting your cat or playing with your children or laughing at something that you're watching on the telly. You know, these things are just everyday sort of humaning things. But you know, it's all there to support your spirituality and wellness if it is what feels good for you. You know, only you know what you need. And I know I mentioned television there. Yeah, because part of what I need in my spiritual practice and my readings is sometimes to just switch off from all the great woo-woo stuff and actually just completely drop into nothingness, where I can just sort of shut down and just observe and relax. As long as I feel good while I'm watching it, as long as the content is healthy for me, it doesn't have to be of great spiritual richness. It can be completely absurd and ridiculous. If it gives me a good vibration, if it raises my frequencies, excellent. It's about taking that time out to surrender to joy. What brings you joy? Is it being in nature? Is it being in good company? Is it time to, you know, call those friends over for a shared meal? Or is it time to go out dancing? What is it that will bring you joy? To raise the vibrations, because we can do amazing work from that space. And it can lead us to inner peace. So to surrender that inner peace, cultivate inner peace on a daily basis, quiet meditative moment, focus on the stillness within and enjoy the inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. So, and that's how we go back to the river, isn't it? And we go with the flow. We allow life on life's terms to some degree and just relax into the process that is meant to unfold for our soul purpose. So how are you activating inner peace? There is something beautiful about silence, just being silent, being still. Sometimes I can find it quite hard to get quiet. I find writing, scribbling really helps. Did it this morning, in fact. Woke up, million things on my mind, just wanted a quiet moment. I also picked up my phone, maybe I'll have a scroll. That doesn't help. So I put that down, pulled out my pen and paper, my journal, and I couldn't even tell you what's in there. Actually, I don't know what I wrote, but I know that I came out of it feeling that sense of peace, back into my power, feeling relaxed, ready to go into a state of flow rather than all the thoughts and energy stirring around me. Sometimes it's getting down to the beach. Sometimes it is just being quiet, and being quiet in good company is amazing. So I have one friend in particular, and we'll go out for coffee. And it's awesome because we might find ourselves in those moments of silence where as people we can get uncomfortable with at times. But moments of silence are just so gorgeous and useful and underutilized, especially in good company, to be in the field and energy of someone you care about and be completely quiet without expectations and just enjoy that space and peace. That's really powerful. So I invite you today to look at what helps you go with the flow, what brings you that stillness, that peace. How do you align with your soul purpose? You know, just food for thought. And if you want to do some intuition play, check out my Golden Gates play dates, or just check out my website, www.kellymoniquepsychicmedium.com. Thank you.